What's going on, fellas? So this video is not going to be hype. And it's definitely not going to be motivation candy, alright, fellas? This is going to be pure instruction. Because the truth is, when you build and cultivate a magnetic aura, it will offend and irritate people who lack purpose, who lack vision, and who are not aligned. Alright, fellas, it's no coincidence that when you are aligned, when you walk into rooms, you feel a shift in energy. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to really do anything. All you have to do is be present. So, fellas, I need you to take notes and pay attention because today you're going to understand why when you walk into certain rooms, your presence and your energy throws off people who are not aligned and who lack purpose. All right, G? Let's get right into it. Now, fellas, on my last video, I talked about how life is just a reflection, fellas. Life is just a mirror of the thoughts that you think, all right? Something that aura and life has in common is that aura is also a mirror. Aura is a mirror at times of people's insecurity, their lack of focus, their lack of presence, their lack of purpose, like I said, their lack of confidence. So I'll give you an example. If you radiate a magnetic aura of confidence, meaning you know who you are. Gee, sometimes, G, you just got bad energy, all right, fellas? Sometimes your shit stinks so bad that the people around you can smell it. But at times, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're aligning with the things, and you're doing the things you're supposed to do, which I'll explain in a second, because I told you I was going to help you build a magnetic aura. But first, I got to tell you what it is. All it is a mirror. So what you do when you radiate positivity, when you radiate confidence, when you radiate abundance, when you radiate prosperity, you reflect the fact that people don't have that shit. All right, G. So when people feel off around you, when you get around certain people, like at work, for example, a lot of you guys deal with this because I have before. Let's say you start a new job and you walk in, you look good, you're smelling good, body game on point, fresh haircut, three-piece suit, G, you're looking great. And you walk in the room and you notice the energy shift. It's like conversations stop when you walk in the room. People stop laughing. People start acting weird. You know people don't really act like that on a normal day. Why? Your aura. Like I said, G, this comes with self-reflection. You can't be a narcissist and say the reason why people don't like me is because of my aura when you're moving with bad intentions and you're moving out of hate and you're moving out of lack, scarcity, fear, and all that other negative shit that don't work. All right, fellas? But if you're moving out of love and you're genuine, you've been doing the deep work, you're confident in yourself, you ain't trying to be nobody else, you're not trying to get validation, but for some reason, when you get around certain people, all of a sudden their attitude change or they start acting weird. Gee, sometimes you got to understand that dissonance, that conflict, that unspoken shift in the room, gee, that can mean many things. And I'm going to explain that to you in a second. But it all wraps up in your aura, your energy. Gee, I'm going to tell you something. Positivity and negativity can't stay in the same fucking room. All right, not for too long. All right, they may sit in there for a little bit. They may even communicate and agree on some shit. But after a while, gee, it ain't gonna work. There's gonna be an imbalance in the room. Sooner or later, either the positivity is gonna have to leave or the negativity is gonna have to leave. Or at some point, one of the two is gonna pull each other towards it. Meaning the negative person is gonna all of a sudden start thinking positive because the energy from the positive person is so damn high. Sometimes aura does that, all right, fellas? It's gonna irritate some people sometimes. It only does two things. Either it inspires people or it irritates them. It inspires them to get on your level or it irritates them to where they got to get the fuck out of Dodge. So what you got to understand is your presence is a spiritual audit. All right, fellas, if you want to avoid bad energy and not even avoid it, just repel it. So when it comes around you, it has no choice but to leave. You got to radiate positive energy. You have to have light inside of you because if you don't, if you have darkness inside of you, that's what you're going to attract. All right. It's very simple. I showed you guys this. All right. This is aura. This is presence. This is you. This is your heart. And you have a flame of presence inside of it. When you have this warmth, You attract people towards you, people that want warmth, people that align with who you are, people that have good morals and good values. They float and gravitate to this warmth, all right, fellas? It's like a magnetic pull. But when you got darkness inside of you, people who are looking for warmth, genuine people, beautiful, loving, feminine women that you guys look for, they are not attracted to darkness. They're attracted to warmth. They're not attracted to coldness. They're attracted to warmth. They're not attracted to indifference. They're attracted to presence and warmth. For all you guys who want to be nonchalant and you think that attracts women, all right, fella, that's a very vague statement when they tell y'all that. Pay attention. Now, how is aura built? All right, fellas, we're going to build it right now. You can't build it right now within this 20-minute video, but I'm going to show you how to build it. All right, fellas, how is aura built? Aura is not confidence. All right, fellas, aura is, and I've been using this word a lot, fellas, because I need you guys to get here. Aura is alignment. All right, fellas, when your habits, your values, the shit you do every day, your daily disciplines, your actions, when they align with the man you want to be, when your thoughts align with the man you want to be, when your emotions align with the man you want to be, you start to vibrate at a certain frequency. What is frequency? Frequency. All right, fellas, everything vibrates, all right, fellas, whether it vibrates high or low. It either vibrates at a high frequency or a low frequency. When you vibrate at a high frequency, you radiate a magnetic aura and you attract the shit you want. It's very simple. When you radiate at a low frequency, why are you radiating at a low frequency? Because your habits, your thoughts, your values, your emotions are not aligning with the man you want to be. So what happens when you have that disconnection, you vibrate at a low frequency. So you don't have a magnetic aura. You still attract shit, but not the shit you want. So how do you vibrate at a higher frequency? How do you build a magnetic aura? How do you get aligned? Fellas, frequency is purpose. All right, fellas, frequency can be a lot of shit. Frequency can be you being a degenerate. Frequency can be you chasing women. Frequency can be you doing drugs. Frequency can be you drinking and going out and partying when you know you should be chasing your goals. Frequency can be anything. But in relation to a magnetic aura, fellas, frequency is purpose. When you stay on purpose, I'm not saying working 24/7. I am saying purpose. Purpose is you. All right, fellas, when you stay on purpose, when you stay on you, when you make decisions for you, when you face temptation and you make the decision to resist instead of letting it consume you, when you focus on you, when you focus on purpose, when you get aligned with your goals, you build a magnetic aura, you radiate at a higher frequency, you build this warmth inside your chest. So when you walk out a lot of you guys want to know what game is. I always want to know the right thing to say to a woman. Understand. A lot of the times, you don't have to talk. You don't have to tell a woman who you are. She may not know all the details of your life, but she will be able to look in your eyes, meaning look through your soul and tell if you're a man of purpose, if you're a man who focuses on himself and doesn't chase women. And it's not even about chasing women. Maybe you don't chase women. Maybe you're scattered brain. Because listen to me, G. If your thoughts are scattered, if your emotions are scattered, this is what I mean. If you're thinking positive thoughts, but you're tying negative emotions to these positive thoughts. I'll give you an example. You think a positive thought, I want to build a business, but you have some type of confirmation bias because your friends around you have failed businesses and they've been indoctrinating your mind that a business isn't good to start and you should just settle with a 9-to-5. By the way, fellas, ain't nothing wrong with a 9-to-5. You can get rich from a 9-to-5. I'm just telling you from the perspective of a man who has thoughts of building a business, but he's hanging around low vibrational energy. So now his emotions is telling him that it won't work. So he has thoughts of prosperity, but emotions of lack. You know what happens? conflict, low frequency, all right, fellas? What you channel, I'm trying to tell you, fellas, you cannot be conflicted, all right, fellas? You can't say I want to be successful, but it might happen. Your brain is neutral. It only understands conviction. You can tell it whatever you want. At a certain point, vision boards are worthless. Affirmations are worthless. Writing down your goals are all worthless. At a certain point, praying is worthless if you don't believe it with sheer emotion. Now, let me give you guys a nuance to aura, all right? When we talk about building a magnetic aura, we only talk about the positive part about it, right? How it's going to attract women and how it's going to attract people and how it's going to make you radiate all high. You basically going to be walking around with a halo. That's the good side, all right, fellas? But there's a law of the universe called the law of polarity. What that means is there's day and night to everything. There's masculine, there's feminine, there's black, there's white, there's up, there's down, there's rain, there's sunshine. So just like a magnetic aura will pull people in because of this warmth you got, something that's going to happen, which is a byproduct of you having a magnetic aura, is isolation. Now, fellas, don't get discouraged. This doesn't mean you're going to be alone. This doesn't mean you have to be a monk. I'm just letting you know. If you're watching this video right now and you're not radiating at a certain frequency and you're getting inspired right now based on the context of this video, and you wake up in the morning and you decide to start building yourself and start applying this list of stuff that I'm about to give you in a second, and you start radiating higher and vibrating higher, I'm not telling you it's going to happen, but there's a good chance that the people around you are not doing the same thing. If you were low vibrational before this video, 9 times out of 10, the people around, I'm just giving you pure logic, all right? 9 times out of 10, the people around you are as well. Why? Because birds of a feather flock together. No offense, I'm just saying. So you might want to share this video with them so y'all stay on the same page so this don't happen. All right, fellas, if you want to keep your friends. Just letting you know, fellas, you got to stick together. Iron sharpens iron. It's better that way, all right, G? So what I'm saying is, if you build yourself up, I make this simple. You build yourself up. What's going to happen is isolation, because your friends are at a certain frequency. When you start radiating at a certain frequency, there's going to be a disconnect. All right, fellas? You're going to walk in a room and you're not going to say a word, but you're going to be loud. All right, G? And if some of you guys are in this process or you've been there, you've heard this saying. Oh, you think you all that, huh? Oh, I see you dressing better. You got your new shit on. I see you hitting the gym. Oh, you think you all that? Oh, you reading books now, huh? Oh, okay. I feel, you don't want to play the game no more? You don't want to hop on Madden, G? Okay, you don't want to go out. You don't want to chase the hoes no more. Oh, you too good for us. All right, fellas? It's peer pressure, I understand. But I'm just prepping you, G. So when you get to that point, you don't fall back, all right? What happens, G, it's all reality, all right? Your friends are in a different reality. They're here. You used to be in that reality. But when you ascended to this reality, they're still expecting you to do shit on this frequency, but you're no longer operating on this frequency. You're up here. So there's a disconnect. So unless they come up here with you or you go back down, some furniture gonna have to move. Somebody gotta go. All right, G? And somebody don't necessarily have to go. You don't have to lose your friends, but you can't be with them all the time. Why? Because energy is contagious. All right, fellas? Somebody's going to pull somebody in a certain direction. Either you're going to pull them with you or they're going to pull you with them. One of the two. All right, fellas? But like I said, going back to my first point, your aura. This is why they critique you. This is why they judge you. Because it's only a mirror. Don't even get offended by it. And don't let it influence you to go back or make them feel comfortable so you start compromising on the shit that you know you need to do. Gee, you're only a mirror. That's why they get either irritated or inspired. This is why I kind of look at people who got a bunch of friends. I kind of look at you weird. All right, I'm not saying you're not supposed to be likable. I'm just saying if you're going through your whole life and you just got a bunch of friends, like you claim you got a bunch of close friends, I don't know about you. All right, fellas, because it don't work like that. All right, when you real, fellas, when you real and you honest, It ain't too many people that's going to stick around long term. It's going to be waves. People come in and out. Why? Because, bro, when your aura is potent, because you're true to yourself and you're not hiding behind masks, you're not searching for validation, you're not living in delusion and clown world and its fake ass narratives, lost in a fucking matrix, that shit irritates people. And people can only sit around it for so long. Why? Because most people are distracted and delusional. Now, how do you strengthen your aura? First thing you do, fellas, is silence. All right, G? My favorite word. Now, what do I mean by silence? I don't mean just being quiet. I don't mean just being a mute. I don't mean being timid. I don't mean not speaking your mind. And I'm going to make this simple. And it can mean many things. I'm going to just point out one thing. Fellas, when you are growing, when you are ascending, when God is bringing you through this journey, you don't need to tell anybody what's going on. Gee, I know it's exciting. When you start getting lucky in life and you start vibrating at a higher frequency, I know you want to tell everybody. I know why, because you just want to get it off your chest, G. It's like energy inside of you, G. When this flame first starts burning, G, that shit is wild. That's why most men can't contain it. They can't shut the fuck up. G, you got to contain this flame, because if you start leaking out too much, G, you're going to spill the goddamn beans. All right, fellas? I'm going to do another video about that, all right? Now, silence. Keep your mouth closed. You can tell a few people, G, it's okay. You can post about it a few times. But every time you level up, the world ain't got to know. Let them see it. People gonna see it, G. Energy don't lie. Words are primitive. G, I'm talking right now. But you can feel something. It's not even about the words I'm saying. It's about the energy in the room right now, G. So, you ain't got to talk. Stay silent. God don't want you to talk yet because, why? G, listen to this. When you're growing, usually if you start talking, you're going to be bragging about you. God don't want you to speak yet. He wants you to brag about him, all right? Now, how else do you build a magnetic aura? Remember, fellas, I touched on this before. Purpose, all right, fellas? You focus on you. You focus. What is purpose? A lot of guys want to know, how do I find my purpose? G, your purpose is you. You can't find this on you. G, you can't find this on YouTube. Your purpose is not in a book, all right? Your purpose was written before you were born. All right, fellas? I'm letting you know something, all right? I'm enlightening you right now. Your purpose was written before you were born. G, your purpose was written before grass came on this earth, all right, fellas? This is going to click later on in the car, all right, G? Listen to me. Fellas, purpose, all right? Purpose is you. You are your purpose. So when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? That's how you build your purpose. You don't build your purpose by going on YouTube. Because a person on YouTube that's trying to tell you how to build a purpose, gee, they don't know you. They don't know shit about you. How they going to tell you how to build your purpose? They don't know what you've been through. They don't know your history. They don't even know how you look half the time. You are your purpose. That's how you build a magnetic aura. Even if you don't know what you want to do in life, the fact you're searching is going to make your eyes look different. So when people look at you, they're going to see this flame. How do you build a magnetic aura? We're really not talking about building here. I already told you how to build it. Just get aligned, fellas. It's very simple. You don't need to do this 7-step morning routine, G. You just need to get aligned. It's simple things. Go to the gym. Stay focused. Don't chase women. Stay away from anything that makes you weak, because remember, we're talking about strengthening your aura. You can't strengthen your aura when you're doing things that make you weak. All right, G? So how do you strengthen your aura? Silence, purpose, and prayer. All right? Some of you guys are not religious. That's okay, because what is prayer? Prayer is not just getting on your knees, G. Prayer is basically you just connecting to source. It's all source, all right, fellas? I'm going to just put this here. Prayer is just source. Creator, your source, your consciousness. You, fellas. That's what prayer is. So all prayer is you talking to you. And God just going to answer, all right? It's very simple. All right, G? This is how you build the aura. These things are easy, and they're free, and they're low maintenance. All right, fellas? Now, next thing. How do you strengthen your aura? Speaking of strength, all right, fellas, physical training. All right, this is not a fitness video, but get in the gym. Go fight, go wrestle, go run, go jog, do yoga, shit, Pilates, I don't give a shit. Move your body. The body was meant to move. I know we got phones now. I know we got chairs now. I know life is comfortable. You can work a job at home and not have to move and stay in your pajamas all day and make $1 million today. I understand that. But the body was built to move. Naturally, you gotta move. You gotta flow. Everything moves. If you stop moving, you stay stagnant. Water gets expired when it stops moving. As long as it flows, it stays alive. Everything on this planet is alive. It's consciousness. As long as it moves, as long as it vibrates at a certain frequency. So you must move. You can't stay stagnant. The difference between humans and animals, and the reason why you never saw a fat lion, and the only animals that's fat are the animals that's supposed to be fat, like elephants and hippos. But the animals that's not supposed to be fat are not fat, because animals continuously move. Why? Because they don't have comfort like humans do, right? So you have to intentionally move. The world is not going to tell you to move. Only about 2 out of 10 men actually care about their health. So move, fellas. That's how you build an aura. When you take care of yourself, you love yourself. When you love yourself, people can feel it. When people can feel it, they make an unconscious decision to love you as well. Last thing, all right, and it's going to be new for a lot of you guys. I want some of you guys to start getting interested in fasting. All right, fellas? What is fasting? Fasting doesn't mean going 40 days and 40 nights without food or water. It's not what that means. Fellas, fasting just simply means cleaning your gut, all right? It's very practical, all right? A lot of what you think comes from here. A lot of your whole physical appearance comes from here. A lot of your clarity comes from here. Here is connected to here, which is connected to here, all right, fellas? You got to take care of this, all right? This is the pit where everything goes and processes and it filters throughout the body. So if you don't take care of this, 9 times out of 10, this and this, I'm not saying it's going to be bad. It's just not going to be pure. It may be good, just won't be pure. All right, and pure is better than good. This is how you strengthen your aura. You put this together, fellas, and you get this is alignment. All right, fellas, this is alignment. Did I say anything about learning something? You don't have to learn anything, fellas. You just remember who you are. This is remembrance, all right? This is reverence. This is you acknowledging the man you see in the mirror before you got distracted by clown world, before you got distracted by validation, before you got distracted about who the world wanted you to be, all right? This is you. This is your core. And deep down, you know that, all right, fellas? So what I want you guys to do, all right? Once you get to this point, all right, and once you start becoming a mirror to people, whether you irritate them or whether you inspire them, something I want to let you know, and this is a big piece of advice, never shrink your aura to make people comfortable. Not a woman, not a man, not a friend, not a family member. You are not meant to blend in. I'm not saying you were meant to stand out and be like some outcast when nobody liked you. But you are not meant to blend in, meaning you are not meant to agree with everything. Yes, you were meant to cohabitate with people. Yes, you were meant to get along with people. Yes, you were meant to fellowship with people. But you are not meant to agree with everything that's thrown on you. Just because somebody doesn't like something, that doesn't mean you react. That's just their problem. All right, fellas. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. Share this video with a homeboy, with a friend, with a family member or a loved one that this will help out. All right, fellas. It's your boy KD. We out here, baby.